I believe me. But in our journey together, I will do mushrooms with you one day. It's a promise. It's a promise.
Better.
I know.
Billy, I'm having another weak spell, bro.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll jump into our next one, okay? Because I wanted to tell you about this. So I was telling Nick earlier about the whole Big Keef D thing. They arrested a man in connection with Tupac's murder. Apparently, he was the one who supplied the gun. And you're questioning right now, well, how do they know this? Was it just brilliant, like police work? Did some, Sherlock Holmes detective break times down and understand and check videos and see CCTV and know that this person was here? No. This guy wrote a fucking memoir and told in the memoir that he was the guy who supplied the gun, and then went on an interview. And when they asked him about the gun that was supplied for Tupac's murder, he said, yeah, that was me. I'm Big Keef D, and I supplied Orlando with the gun.
And I approve this message.
And I approve this message. And I'm not bullshitting or lying because I'm the one who did it. And you know what? The detective saw this on TV and went, there's my confession.
What an asshole. He's
there
like,
you go.
He has TiVo still.
Dude, why is
what
everybody...
is that sound that he used to make? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why is everybody incriminating themselves? Could you imagine being in the mafia? Could you imagine you were with John Gotti, dude, and you got a camera phone on him and you're breaking into a vault and John Gotti's sitting there and you go, John, do it for the gram. You're doing
it from this angle,
dude,
though?
The last thing you'd see is John pulling around with a fucking gun and shooting you in your head, and this thing would be in the bottom of the Mariana Trench. And that's true. And that's true. You know why? Because criminals were smart back then. It's insane. Dude, honestly,
He just ratted himself out.
Yeah.
Benny was telling me about that at dinner yesterday. We went to Benny's house and he was talking about, he's like, that motherfucker just started talking on social media. And he's like, no one even knew you were in the fucking car.
Exactly.
He was like, why would you say anything? It was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. So now, all right, we all know that happened. I'm not breaking any, big news stories of that, but I did want to talk to Nick about this. So, so Tupac.
So I didn't know anything about whatever the story is.
Tupac,
Jada Pinkett?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
okay, so Jada Pinkett. Tupac was not a blood or a Crip. He wasn't born in New York or L.A. He didn't come from a gang life.
He was like a middle class kid, right?
He was born in He was born in Baltimore. He a lot like those kids on Beau is Afraid. He went to an art school with Jada Pinkett. In fact, they made a music video to Will Smith's Parents Just Don't Understand. So if that's not a little foreshadowing for you. So he went on there, and Tupac, you see Tupac in a leotard like this.
I didn't know this.
Like in a leotard. Like this, like,
the fuck out of here.
Doing
like modern dance,
no,
like
doing those
interpretive.
80s, those 80s, not like African moment, like the 80s, like cool, dancing.
Oh shit,
dude, he had his Gumby haircut and everything.
In
and
a
he went
leotard?
on there in a leotard. Now he went on there, and years later he got hooked up with Digital Underground. Once he got with Digital Underground, he found out that he was doing all these beautiful songs, like, remember, like You Are Appreciated, When I Was It Me, and he would do the mom songs, and he would do Brenda Had a Baby. Well, then he hooked up with Dr. Dre and he did some gangster rap, and he noticed that he got a lot of attention.
Real
quick, gangster rap. Yeah.
I need you to fill me on everything.
Yes, sir.
So he wasn't doing rap before he tried to have a career, and he fell into rap later?
He was doing music. Listen, the dude was incredibly gifted with music in general.
Okay.
So he probably worked on a lot of different beats, a lot of different cool songs, stuff like that. So he was doing, he's dancing with Jada Pinkett, right? So they went to the same art school, right?
Right. So was he still going by Tupac?
Yeah, his name's Tupac Amaru Shakur.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he does this and he does this. He hooks up with Digital Underground. He does the soundtrack for that Dan Aykroyd movie, Nothing But Trouble. And he goes on there and he raps with Digital Underground. I do the hump to hump.
Oh,
remember
my
that guy?
God, yes.
So he's with them. Well, he comes out and he's doing the song Nothing But Trouble, and he comes in there and like you hear the bass pickups like like these organs are playing. Tupac comes out there and just slaughters it. I'll show you the song after.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No
and you're
shit.
like, dude, and everybody's looking at this guy like, who the fuck is this guy?
Is that how he got kind of lift?
Yes.
He got lift off
he,
that?
So he got a spark under his ass and just rocket fuel from there.
No
so,
shit.
Yeah, so he started doing his own albums and
Damn,
people
I didn't know
went
the whole
nuts.
history. You always know G history,
I
bro.
love this shit, yeah.
We got to do a G history segment for
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, that Tekashi, people love that
We
thing,
did.
man.
Well, that and you gave me the Suge Knight history.
Oh, yeah, with Vanilla Ice
that
and
was
stuff like that.
phenomenal,
Yeah.
man. All right.
So
anyway, carry on. This is fucking fascinating.
Okay, so then he does that, and Tupac's got huge things right now. So now he's bumping shoulders with everybody. So he starts doing a little more gangster rap, right? So he meets Notorious B.I.G. and they're doing stuff together. Now it's real heavy gangster. And gangster rap is in because now it's the 90s and that's all you hear. You got NWA. Those guys are kicking off. Everybody's doing it. So Tupac starts doing a lot of gangster rap, right? Tupac gets shot inside of a New York studio. He gets shot 5 times. Somebody put a price on it and people always say it's Puff Daddy.
This is where we all know.
Yeah.
And then the truth of it just came out, the whole story.
Yeah. So he goes to the hospital, and then Tupac thinks that he needs them back. So he links up with Suge Knight and Dr. Dre and them. He does Death Row Records, right? So now he's gangster at this point, right? Like crazy. You know what I mean? And that's why he was doing it. What I'm getting at in this whole thing. So
he devolved into gangsterdom.
Exactly. And the guy that they beat up, that Orlando dude, the guy that they jumped that night in Las Vegas, that had nothing to do with Tupac. Tupac got shot for sticking his nose in something that he probably shouldn't have. I love Tupac. I love his music.
Didn't they jump the wrong guy?
They beat the shit. There was some Bloods walking in, and they were all in town for the Tyson fight.
Yeah.
One of them was like, they were like rolling 60s or something like that, and it's this Crip walking by, and the Blood saw him. They were all Dom Pyru, and they all started talking shit, and they go over there and start whipping his ass. You see Tupac sprinting across the MGM Grand and start stomping on this dude's head.
Yeah.
Do you think this dude is just going to be like, whoa, Tupac, can I get an autograph?
No.
You're like right now, like whatever you think you are, buddy, you are kicking a stone cold fucking killer in the head.
Yeah.
Like you think there might be a repercussion? Maybe.
Yeah, you're kind of hitting a hornet's nest.
Exactly. So those dudes are like, I'm gonna kill this guy. So they go, they get their car, they pull around, they see Tupac leaving. He's got the Celtics jersey with Suge Knight. They pull off onto Paradise. They pull up next to him. They shoot him. Tupac's dead. Second time. History is made. One of the biggest cases ever. Goes cold. Forensics wasn't huge at the time.
Then this dickhead goes on social media.
Years later,
rats himself out.
Yeah, because it's still one of the biggest cases ever, and decides to tell everybody like, hey. You know that whole Tupac thing?
It's like how every serial killer...
Right here. Yeah.
They always want recognition.
Exactly. Or like how an arsonist goes to the fire and is like, what happened?
Dude.
He's just covered in soot. he's covered in soot like he's a fucking chimney sweeper. And he's like, were there people
Van
in there?
Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Chim chim
He's all sweating. Like he just came out of a building that was 115 degrees. He's all sweating like, what's going on? A fire?
He could dust.
Why go back?
He could dust for fingerprints with his breath.
Exactly. Dude, the building's on fire. The job's done. You did what you needed to do. What happened? Somebody in there?
Was there a fire?
He can't breathe. Any water?
His lips are all chapped.
Yeah. You know, so then this guy goes up there.
God.
But I'm telling you this right now, man, through all this now, there's one person that hung on to this case more than Big Keith D doing his interviews and everything. There's one person that clung to the Tupac bandwagon. Why? Because she probably had
It was Jada.
dying movie career. Her only claim to fame was knowing Tupac for that time. She married the softest rapper, the greatest. First of all, the world's greatest movie star.
She copied his hairstyle.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Absolutely.
People
And then tried to lie.
so mad.
They tried to lie and say it was alopecia. Bitch.
Was that
lies. Yeah, that's a lie. If she had alopecia, so she has perfectly good eyebrows, and it's and when she when her hairline does come in, it's perfect. There's no little bald spots or anything like that. Shit. She looks like the arsonist, right? Because the little bald spots, right? You know, like she was on a fire. But yeah, but
she should wear Pac's do-rag.
Yeah, dude. Every time they even mention something about Pac because she maybe knew him for 8 minutes back in 1986. Yeah. Every time they mention Tupac,
they're the
every time.
Weirdest couple ever, man.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just,
No.
Tupac.
Honestly, you're at, no. We're on Jada. You're right. No. Listen, we're past Tupac. You're absolutely right.